It's trying to identify the top three segments of my fire service career is a difficult choice. The excitement as a 16-year-old, as a volunteer firefighter responding to fires and actually fighting structure fires as a 16-year-old, being a member of the Apollo Astronaut Rescue Team, being the fire chief of the United States Navy, being the fire chief in charge of a major disaster, the Air Florida crash, being on the investigation board for the Air Florida and the Air Canada crashes, being elected president of the International Association of Fire Chiefs. All of these are something, being vice president of the Institution of Fire Engineers, being president of the National Fire Heritage Center, being elected to the Hall of Legends, Legacies, and Leaders, or publishing books. There's so many things that really is difficult to point the finger to say which one means the most. And I guess the thing that means the most in my fire service career, that means more to me than anything else, are friends. And I'll tell you how strong those friendships are. Last summer, my son was driving down from Maryland to North Carolina to see his sister and to come over to a family event. And he stops for gas and he calls me up and says, "Dad, I left my wallet at home." And where are you? He tells me. I pick up the phone and I call my friend Dan Jones, who's the retired fire chief from the city of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I said, "Dan, what are you doing, buddy?" He said, "Not much. What do you need?" And I told him, and Dan drove over an hour away to Interstate 95, met my son, gassed his truck up, gave him $100, and Bill went back home and got his wallet. And that is just one of many instances where either someone has called me needing help, or I knew someone that needed help, or I needed a favor, and I could call somebody. And to know that you've got friends like that all over the world, I guess that means the most to me, is the friends that I have made in the fire service. I guess that means more to me than any award or significant contribution I may have made. Friends is more important. As a 16-year-old kid, when I began as a volunteer firefighter, I had no clue that I would ever have the opportunity to be engaged in such important things that I've been able to be involved with. As a volunteer firefighter, we train and learn how to perform the functions of a firefighter and to do it safely and to work with the different tools and equipment. And I never thought about that I would be riding a fire truck seated in an enclosed cab as opposed to riding on the back step. Never had any vision that I would be designing fire trucks, that I would be participating in the development of specifications for fire trucks. Never envisioned that. And when I went to work as a paid firefighter in 1960, the system says that if you have 20 years and age 50, you can retire at half pay. And I'm thinking, man, can you imagine? I worked 20 years, I'll be 40 years old, and work 10 more years. So if at age 50 I'd have 30 years, I'd have a fantastic pension and be retired at 50. And guess what? I didn't retire at 50. My career took me in a number of different directions, and the first time I retired I was 64. And although I don't punch a clock, I'm still active in the fire service, and this is my 67th year in the fire service. I had no idea that I'd still be doing this at my age. I guess the reason that I've been in the fire service so long, and what the thing that's kept me involved in the fire service, it's an opportunity to help somebody else. The worst day in somebody else's life is when their home is on fire, or they're in a situation where they're trapped and they need help. And here you have the opportunity to intervene and help save their property or save their lives. Being helpful to help somebody, it's a great deal of satisfaction to help somebody else.